Hello and welcome to my new video about the Fv4030-3 or the Shir 2, translated meaning Lion 2, which is a British tank made for the Iranians and is based off of the, I think it was the Chieftain Mark III, and it kind of does look like it. Just imagine a Chieftain Mark III and you put on more armor, kind of like what they did with the M84. Like the Iranians did with the M84, which was basically they just put extra armor on it, which it might only be decoration, but the second you see it from behind, you can just see the engine bay from the M84, which I do find funny, because, well, they say they're a modern military, but they still use M48. But, well, to be fair, the Russians also, they still use T-64s, T-72s, although the T-72 is still, I would say, powerful. But the T-64, I'm starting to question their sanity. But at the same time, whatever shoots can also kill. At the same time, they also use Mosins in the back lines of their conflict, which I do need to say I'm a fan of the Mosin because it's an iconic gun. But I do not know if it's like still effective nowadays because it's not. As long as it's not in a combat position, I guess it works. And I do need to put a little disclaimer. I am very untalented around the BR of 10.0, and this tank is not fully aced, or well, stock. Which means I don't even have a rangefinder, but I have the good round, which should make me a little more powerful. Well, it of course makes me a little more powerful. But the tank, it's an event vehicle. You could get it last year with the event of the, what's it called? Enter the Serpent. That's the event. It's, I think it was a thing. I think some Chinese New Year stuff, which I do kind of find confusing. Why not put something Chinese when it's like an event for the Chinese New Year? Maybe that's just me. And I tried playing a little around with the audio because I did a recording before and it was, well, the game was louder than my voice. My voice might also be a little louder, but the game like muted my voice, which sucked because you couldn't understand a single word I said. And I hope this recording will work out for me and not be as quiet as the last time when someone just shot at me. I did not know what it was. Probably something German. Oh no, it's French. I definitely knew that there was ammunition there. I am skilled, trust me. I also am making a server so people can make suggestions of what vehicle or like tank, plane, ship, helicopter I should play. Although, disclaimer, I do not have everything. I'm pretty far away from having everything, and I do not have a way of getting everything as fast as, you know, I had hoped. I'm kind of afraid to just leave this because I know there's people behind that ridge and they know I am here, but I think they're like here and just looking at my position because I ended a teammate. I think that was a VC something. I'm bad with French tanks, especially our IFVs. Is that even an IFV? But I also am thinking of making maybe the next video about War Thunder. No, I mean Enlisted. and trying maybe a guerrilla playthrough. Well, they did do announce 2 new premiums, which I'm rather hyped about because it's the Somi KP, which is my favorite, one of my favorite guns in the game. Added with a flamethrower, which I like flamethrowers. I like the Somi KP. I like it. Just what is there more to say? And the Mosin squad as well, which I also like because I like Mosins. I want to buy a Mosin, well, a deactivated one, of course. But it's kind of hard getting around to these. The only cheap ones that are real are Finnish in a Finnish store, and they only ship in Finland, which is a little problem, but can't be that big of a problem. There's always a way around it. Maybe just visit visit Finland. But yes, for my second video, first one got like what 30 views, which I'm thankful for because it wasn't free like I expected. And I already got like a decent following for like one video, 5 followers. Happy about that. I missed it completely. Thank you, Bradley. I'm sorry, Bradley. I think the Bradley is underrated if you know how to play it. Otherwise, it's really just not desirable. Which I think is sad because it's an interesting tank. Well, but I think even IRL, the Bradley wasn't known for its reliability. That's us gone. Or me gone. There was a second Armix. I do like the Armix. It's a nice series. It's interesting. Oh, it was a VRCCR thing. The thing I killed the first time, the IV. But I'm not sure. It does look like we're losing though. Which is something bad, obviously. That guy just did a little bunny hop. And I was dead. I think that was even the guy that killed me. I was slow for that guy. Where was... Oh, I see. Where did he even hit me? How... I'm sorry. I'm sorry for existing. That scared me a lot. Oh yeah, he got an angle on my motor. I'm dead. I can't even shoot through the building or I missed completely. Oh god, yes. He died. I think at least. It looks like it. Of course, T-55 just decided to not go my direction and die. I do love useful teammates. Well, I'm not a useful teammate myself right now, so I shouldn't speak. Ignore the sound mods I have. Yes. This is very risky because I'll bet I'll be shot from the back. My English is a little stuttery today. I knew it. Which makes me question myself why I did it in the first place. Well, that was the first round of today with the, well, not of today, the first round recorded of today with the Fv4030-3 or the Shir 2. It was a short round. I don't know if I displayed the tank fairly. I don't know if I call quit to it after one round. If you even say call quit to it, I don't think anyone says that. I think my mind just made that up. But I do think I do one more round. Try my best. Trying to get more than 4 kills like the last time. And I got the Maginot line. Although I do think that the French, they kind of did like a stupid thing with the Maginot line. I think everybody agrees on that, but they do have a fair good military if you like look at the other militaries in Europe at that time. Poland, Denmark. Well, Denmark surrendered itself in 6 hours, which was smart because they would have been bombed to smithereens if they didn't. And to return to the tank, to the British tank, this tank. It was later abandoned, the project, in favor of the tanks we have nowadays from the British, which I think it was the right call because I don't think this tank would have been a modern tank. Well, it kinda is a modern tank, but I wouldn't think it would have been on the same level as the Leopard and the Abrams, and the British tanks still aren't, in my opinion. Although, you can correct me on this, I do think that the Abrams and the Leopard, you know, they were a combined arms project, at least. You know, the Kampfpanzer 70 and the MBT 70, I think it's called. They were made together, I think. You know, the XM 803 was. They're practically, I think, a very similar tank. They made those tanks together, and out of these tanks, they made the. Oh! They made the Abrams and the Leopard. I forgot tanks can have 80 GMs, and I was really confused by why there was a round going up and down. Till my monkey brain realized, oh, it's an 80 GM, I'm dead. It looks like they can't finish me off. Yay. I am safe. I was not safe. That was just stupid by me. I'm not the most skilled player. I think that's obvious. Like, sometimes my rounds are like, 15 kills, but like, it's like mid-tiers, and then I go in top tier, and it's like, it's a dice roll if whether I get like 0 kills or I get like 8. And I find it confusing. Because top tier is cursed, in my opinion. Everything after 9.0 is, my mind can't comprehend. Same for the planes. I wonder like how far Gaijin's gonna go with the ships though. Like, are they gonna stay in the Korean War era, or like, you know, because there's like a lot of modern ships, but they still are stuck in the Korean War era and World War II era, which I think is fair because those ships are like really interesting and they're really strong already. Those are the situations where I want a rangefinder. I never know how to really play on this map. Because I either go into the town and battle it out there, or I snipe, but I don't have a rangefinder, which makes it even more frustrating. For obvious reasons, I hope. But it does look like my team's winning, even though I did nothing. 0 kills, 0 captures. Which is frustrating, because it makes me look bad. But I tend to just play 2 tanks, get a first impression, well not really first impression, but like get an impression, and post the video, instead of playing 9 hours with 1 tank till I get like, what, 2 rounds that are acceptable and good, where I get like 9 kills. I probably should do that, but first up, I don't have all day, and second, this is just a hobby, and third, I'm lazy. And I wanted to do editing the rest of the day, or like learn how to do editing. I don't know what that guy was doing, but I'm doing the same thing right now. Just rushing, praying that I'll get at least 1 kill. So I'm closer to the laser rangefinder. I am disappointed. That tank just spawned. Please do not see me. Oh, okay. Well, a typical Wolfen round, just spawn camping. That's also why I like lower tiers, because it's I feel rarer that people get to spawn camp. And top tier, it's just who's first at who's spawn. But yeah, that was the video about the Fv4030-3 Shir 2, translated Lion 2, and a tank that I would have found it interesting if the Iranians actually got the tank and would use it right now in the conflict that they're in. But I guess we'll never get to know, we'll never get to see that. And yeah, that's my second video I've ever made. I hope you like it. Please subscribe.